It's really hard not to explain my background, disability, without kind of taking you back when I was a young boy growing up in a small farm town here in Minnesota, and I didn't realize at the time, but even though my dad didn't have a lot of fancy education at school in the 8th grade, he said, "We're going to have you're going to treat my cousin Dutch, who is developmentally disabled. He has hopes and dreams just like you do. We're going to include him in everything that we do." And I didn't really understand at the time probably how important that was and the effect it had on me growing up. And then as I would get older, I saw evidence of this in everything I did. Because, for example, my dad had a little TV and hardware store when he came off a farm, had just 1.5 employees, but he had his cousin Dutch working and included in everything that we did. And when I say working with us, he said, he'd go to church with us, he'd go to activities with us, and I think that had a much bigger, without even using words like inclusion and other things, I think that had a much bigger impact on me than I really understood. And then it would go from there to when I went to the Iron Range and worked on Developmental Achievement, East Range Developmental Achievement Board. You don't work with parents of children or adults with disabilities or their friends without being educated, sensitized, and it challenges those stereotypes and assumptions that so many people make. Well, they all kind of fell away, and so I owe that to all the people who have taught me, because I'll say something today here when I'm visiting at PACER that I say to a lot of people with disabilities and their parents and friends have taught me much more than I've ever taught them. And I would kind of say this on that topic. I really believe, whether you think this is being old-fashioned or not, that as a society, as a community, as individual human beings, we will be judged ultimately by how we reach out and treat people who are the most vulnerable and need amongst us. And so when we have what a lot of people would suggest are a large forgotten minority at times, people with individual disabilities, young and old, I really think that we should be judged that way, and that includes, by the way, the justice system as well.